More on money and access. I was conversing with a friend and he argued that you're better off be homeless in Ghana than be homeless in the US. And his argument was that Ghana is much smaller. Ghana has a relatively stable currency, and he mentioned a very interesting point. As compared to the US, Ghana is less individualistic. And I thought about this for a bit. The bit about Ghana being smaller and all of that, it's not a really good argument. Even with the socioeconomic climate in Ghana and everything, factoring individualism, all of that, it's still not really a good argument. But there's something there. There is. And it has to do with the fact that, yes, in places in the West, many places in the West, a lot of the fending that you have to do for yourself and for yourself alone. In places in Africa, in places in West Africa, more specifically, in places in Ghana, the phrase or the adage, it takes a village to grow a child, is quite literal. Because more often than not, if you're becoming successful, you really do have more than one mouth to feed. And it's pretty interesting because on the bright side, if something horrible happens to you, you do have multiple people to fall back on. But on the other hand, does it really matter? Does it really matter that you have multiple people to fall to in a place or in a society where the gap, the divide between marginally wealthy and terribly poor, or like starving on the streets, is very wide? And I'm talking about Ghana. You could, let me use Nigeria as an example. You could be earning, say, 500k naira every month. And that's better off than most Nigerian civil servants, right? But what does 500k naira give you in Nigeria? You're okay with 500k a month. You're okay. But you're not doing very well if you have 500k a month. Right? Not doing very well. And the places where a lot of 1% elites can go to, you do not have access to with 500k a month. You can correct me if I'm wrong. In places like Ghana, it's quite different. It's not as bad as it is in Nigeria. If you're earning, say, 50k a month, you have access to places most Ghanaian celebrities can enter. You might even see the president more than once in a month if you're earning that amount. In places like the US, right, where he pulled out stats and apparently showed that there are more homeless people in the US than there are in Ghana, the divide or the amount of work, let me say, it would require for you to cross that divide between very poor, homeless, and doing okay. It's not very big. You can get a job. There are so many jobs you can get to do. There are so many ways you can help yourself. There are so many avenues to become better and not become homeless. So many programs, awareness here and there, and things like that. And so the divide is not very wide. Even though people say, oh, the 1% elites are in a world of their own, but they are really not, are they? When you go to Beverly Hills and you go to all those places, that is very much accessible to the average American. You would just find them. You see all of your celebrities that you idolize walking on the streets. You'd not see something like that very easily in Nigeria, would you? Would you regularly see Aya Star in some corner in Lagos or Ikeja or something? You probably won't. So does it really come down to individuality and Ubuntu or community love? I don't know. Does it really come down to that?